Welcome, everybody. It is that time again. Happy Monday. It's Matt Connarton Unleashed, and we are live from the studios of WMNH 95.3 FM in glorious downtown Manchester, New Hampshire. Also on Comcast 97 if you're in Manchester. And hello to all of our online listeners across the nation and around the globe. You can go to my website, mattconnerton.com, for all your live streaming options, social media links, contact info, show archives, etc., etc. Today is Monday, May 8th, 2023, and I'm not alone.
Hello, darlings.
Jenny is here at the news desk.
I am present on this glorious day.
Yes.
The sun is shining.
Yeah, nice. We're having some very nice weather.
I know, and it's supposed to be here all week.
Got very windy out, though.
I don't mind a little breeze.
Very windy downtown.
Well, that's because we have the tunnel.
Yes, the wind tunnel. Yes, that is true. Coming up on the show today in the second hour, we're going to be joined by members of the band Bees Deluxe. Do you know how many are coming in? Or?
I do not.
They sent us a bunch of songs.
You should be surprised.
Yes. But they're not strictly an American band. They're British/American. So it'll be fun. A little international flavor, if you will. So
well, we get international flavor, but we don't often get it in studio.
In studio, yes.
Ah.
So that'll be nice. So that'll be coming up in the second hour today on the program.
I like their sound. I'm looking forward to it.
Oh, absolutely. Also, just a little programming note. Because we're not going to run it on the show today as originally promised, but I did share it out on social media, and it's up on the Matt Connarton Unleashed, mattconnerton.com rather, but we also shared it out on social media. So the Erich Pilcher's classic film review that we were supposed to run Friday, and then Erich had to delay it to today. We decided not to run it on the show, but it is online. The reason for this, and it's actually the first time that we've run into this, and I had to kind of break it to Erich last night, but he was very, very professional, as I knew he would be, and very understanding about the quandary I found myself in. But the film that Erich had chosen for this particular review was American Pie, and the 1999 film starring Tara Reid and I can't even remember Jason Biggs and whoever else is in it. I don't know. I can't remember any of the other names. But and it's funny, when I saw that on the list, I had some ambivalence about it. I was like, I don't know. And then I thought, well, he's reviewed other sort of what you would call coming of age, teenage, high school films before, and it's never been a problem. Like Fast Times at Ridgemont High, for example. But something in the back of my mind was a little concerned, and I had seen the movie, but I had seen it like back when it came out.
I never saw
American Pie. Yeah, it's okay. It's not. I don't think it's as great as people make it out to be. I never did, and I didn't see it in the theater. But I saw it on DVD eventually. So maybe not when it first came out, but a couple of years after it might have been. There's a whole series of them. There's like 4 of them, I think. I only saw the first one, but it's okay. There's a very famous scene in the film that people talk about. But anyway. But something in the back of my mind said, this one might be a problem, but no, I'm sure it'll be fine. And, Erich sends me the review, and then of course I listen to it, and if there's anything in it that I am not comfortable with going out on the air on the show, I just edit it out myself. So I sometimes, although it's rare that I have to do that, but occasionally I'll trim something down. Like if, for example, if it's a violent scene in a film where you hear the sound of gunfire, and it goes on for a while, I'll actually trim that down.
Oh, I know.
Like I'll leave a little bit of the gunfire in it so you hear it, so you get the gist of what's happening. But if it's like, 3 minutes of people shooting at each other, it's like, I cut it down. Just so I'll make little edits. But when I got the American Pie review, so again, I remembered it as being one of those coming of age high school movies. I'd completely forgotten what the specific premise of the film is and the pact that these male high school students made, and then I'm like, okay, so, and then I'm I'm listening to the review, and I find myself editing like little bits of dialogue out of some of the scenes. I was like, geez, I don't know.
Really?
Like there's no swears.
But it was uncomfortable enough to
But it was like, yeah, I think this might be a little much. And then I found myself, I was editing so much. I was like, well, this scene ends up being meaningless with all that I'm taking out. So finally, I just, I messaged Erich online. I said, I'm sorry to do this to you, man. I know you work hard on these, but I'm really uncomfortable with this one. If we were on at night, if instead of 4 to 6, we were on, I don't know, 8 to 10 or 9 to 11 or something, it would have been fine. But for afternoon drive, I just imagine somebody, driving in their car, listening to the show, taking their high school daughter to soccer practice or something and hearing the review. And I was like, I don't know. I think this one might be a little much. I mean, there was no real inappropriate language or anything in it, but just the concepts. I was like, this might be a little much. So
it's a wee bit too much on you.
Yeah. So I should have. And by the way, I take responsibility for this because, and I told this to Erich. I said, when I first saw that on his list, because he usually sends me a list of what he has coming up. When I first saw it, I felt a little bit like, I don't know about that one. I should have, and then I just kind of shrugged it off like, no, I'm sure it'll be fine. But I should have thought that through a little bit more. And he apologized and he said he should have thought it through more too. And I said, no, it's on me. I could have said something and I didn't.
In fairness, though, we're having an awakening when it comes to this kind of stuff in our society, I think. Things that were acceptable when we were kids are no longer acceptable for good reason.
Yeah.
For good reason. So sometimes I'm not surprised when something pops up and we think, oh, yeah, that's really bad. Bad taste. I don't want to encourage X behavior.
Well, I don't think
having integrity, journalistic integrity, is a good quality.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think there's anything. It's just a silly comedy. I think it's fine. I don't think the film is in bad taste. I'm not making any judgment about. I didn't say it was in bad taste.
That's not what I meant. I meant that we're going to have stuff like this come up that were acceptable when we were kids, but they're not acceptable now.
Yeah. Well, I don't think the film. I don't think the film is any less acceptable now than it was then. I mean, geez, look what we saw in that television series we were watching last night. That Pete Davidson.
Oh my gosh!
That was pretty.
You're right.
That was pretty edgy
about that.
Yeah. So I don't.
That was definitely edgy.
Yeah.
So we weren't encouraging young people to do high school students to like go.
Sure. No, but I don't think of it that way in this case. I just thought of it as some of this dialogue. I was like, this might be a little much for afternoon drive. Like I said, if we were on at night, that'd be different. But I mean, it's a great review. Erich does a great job. It is a very popular segment on the show. So if you do want to hear it, it is online and available. And like I said, I did share it out on social media, and it's on my website as well. And of course, he will resume his regular schedule of reviews this Friday. So if you want to check that out, but I believe our friend Eazy-G is on the line. Hello.
Yeah, I have to agree. I've seen that movie too. It's kind of probably not the best. It's showing in 4 to 6 range. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
I have to agree with that. But anyway, about wrestling now. You're wrestling. You know about wrestling now. Vince McMahon.
No,
Triple H made comment. One of the ones is going to be a belt just for Raw. So they're going to do tonight. They're going to have triple threat match, and then that guy will go on to the tournament on the 27th. We don't really want to talk about, but it's overseas. And then the 3 guys are going to go on SmackDown. When that guy's going to go to the finals against the guy from SmackDown. I mean, the guy from Raw. Which doesn't make any sense, right? If they're going to have it a Raw belt, why do they guys with SmackDown?
He's lost me.
So in other words, what Easy is saying is the tournament. I know what he's saying. The tournament for the world, the new world championship
title
that's supposed to be exclusive to Monday Night Raw.
Yes.
Part of that tournament is taking place on SmackDown.
Ah.
So that's a little goofy.
Yeah, I gotta agree with you there.
Yeah. I'll tell you what, though, it's hard to argue with success. I mean, that company is having it's probably the hottest it's been in 20 years.
As long as they keep Vince out of
Yeah,
the steering.
apparently AEW is going overseas to do a tournament there. I mean, to a show in London or someplace overseas, and they've sold like a ton of tickets.
Yeah, they're AEW.
They're doing pretty good too.
Yeah, they are. They have a show in August at Wembley Stadium, and it's up to I think they've passed 70,000 tickets.
Oh wow!
For Wembley Stadium. Yeah, the wrestling business
Right.
is probably the healthiest it's been in 2 decades. It's huge right now.
Oh, yeah.
It's really amazing. It's good to see as a
I was
fan.
watching that pay-per-view on Saturday, and I finished it on Sunday. And I had a question for you. That Brock Lesnar match, I knew Cody Rhodes had to win that match because they didn't want to make it look like a loser when he lost to the head of the table, Roman Reigns. I knew he was going to win, but it was a match. During the match, the turnbuckle, was gone, and then Brock Lesnar hit it, and I don't know if it was real blood because we don't show blood on WWE, but maybe it was because it was pay-per-view. And do you think that was really blood or it was something else?
Probably really blood. Real blood. He probably really cut himself. But from what I read today online, it was intentional. Jenny and I were wondering about that while we were watching the event. But
didn't I say
usually
that?
don't do blood on WWE anymore. But I guess it was pay-per-view, right? So it's different.
The thing is, from what I read online, part of why they might have done that, why they might have made an exception and done blood, is it's a bit of a tradition in Puerto Rico. Puerto Rico is known for bloody wrestling matches, so that might have been kind of why they decided. Yeah, so that might have been why they decided to do that there. Yeah, historically, yeah.
I knew it was superficial because he wasn't gushing. If he'd actually slammed his head there, and really, it would have been a nice gusher.
Yeah,
nothing bleeds good like the head.
Yes, as we all know.
I have a feeling that Cody Rhodes is going to win that belt. I have a feeling.
Oh, I hope not. It'll feel like a consolation prize. He needs to beat Roman Reigns.
No, yeah. I say
Well,
that too.
I don't know if he doesn't get the belt. Who are they going to put it on? Brock Lesnar?
Maybe.
It could be. Did you watch Backlash?
What about Osmos?
Almost. Seth Rollins actually got a good match out of the guy.
Yeah, he did.
Yeah, what's up with that guy? He keeps getting these big he keeps getting these big matches, and they're going to lose.
Who?
I mean, Omos is going to lose. I always say the bigger they are, the bigger they fall.
Right.
Really?
Yes, he always.
There's no reason for him to lose any matches.
Like
when Andre the Giant would wrestle, and of course he never lost for years and years and years. But there's really no reason why he would lose.
Eric Pilcher in the chat room says, Puerto Rico, home of the greatest pro wrestling miscarriage of justice ever. I assume he's referring to the murder of Bruiser Brody, but we'll ask him when he calls. He's going to call in after you, Eric.
Murder?
Bruiser Brody, that's where he was murdered in Puerto Rico in a locker room.
A wrestler?
Sorry.
You don't know that?
Wrestler?
You don't know that story? Yeah. Bruiser Brody, he was murdered.
No.
Look it up.
Yeah, he was murdered in a locker room at a wrestling event.
Oh, that's not good.
No,
not normally.
Not generally.
I've never heard of a good murder.
Yeah. Murder is usually bad.
Okay, it's bad.
Did it catch the guy?
No, I think it's a situation where everyone kind of knows who did it, but it was never. He was never convicted. There was no convict. I don't know if he was even charged.
Wow, what was the wrestler's name?
I believe it was the promoter. Who was running the event. I don't remember all the particulars, though. There's several different...
the promoter, wow.
There's several different stories about what went on, and it's hard to even know what the truth is. I know Tony Atlas was there.
How long ago was this?
Oh, this would have been in the 70s.
Yeah, they brought back that guy, the Apple guy last night. I mean, Saturday night. I don't know why he brought him back for. He just spits people's face, which is gross this day and age,
Carlito.
It clicked.
Yeah, I don't know why he came back. This is spit in somebody's face. I thought that was dumb.
I thought it was cool.
Because it was in Puerto Rico.
You're being an ageist. You don't like when
Puerto
the
Rico,
old guys come
they
back.
spit in people's face, too?
Carlito is Puerto Rican. He's a big star in Puerto Rico. That's why they brought him in.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yes. Yes.
You just don't like it when anybody from the past comes forward. You always have, nothing nice to say.
It's true.
It is. He's a meanie. Mm-hmm. He's an ageist.
Yeah, don't be ageist.
He's a big ageist.
Why are you such an ageist?
Eazy-G.
I don't know, but
how old is
overall
Bruce?
that pay-per-view I didn't think was that good.
Oh, I thought it was excellent.
Overall.
I thought it was great.
Really?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Huh.
We liked
it. Did you watch the same thing I watched?
My opinion wasn't that good. That's just my opinion.
You're entitled to have
no
an
belt change,
opinion.
Well, you knew We knew they weren't going to lose the belt there, the EST, and then the other lady that you knew. It's their first title defense. You knew they were going to take her belt off.
Oh, Rhea Ripley?
Yeah.
Yeah. True.
She was the first title defense. It's like when the guy from the AEW there, he put his first belt on the line. Well, he doesn't do it very often, but he knew that he wasn't going to lose in first title defense on a pay-per-view.
MJF?
Yeah. It was his first title defense. He knew he wasn't going to lose.
No. He'll keep that belt for a long time. The Triple B, he calls it.
But the EST, like you're saying, for the longest time, and Brock Lesnar, they're both good for business.
Yes.
But we'll see what happens to Brock Lesnar. I think him and one other guy, Cody Rhodes, is going to be in the triple threat match. I don't see why they wouldn't be.
I don't see why they would be. Why do you think that?
Well, because they put on a good show last night, and eventually they're going to put the belt on Roman. They're going to put the belt on Cody Rhodes.
But why would they be in a triple threat match? I don't understand.
Because Monday night they're going to have a triple threat match, and the winner goes to the that event on the overseas. There.
Oh, you're saying? Oh, okay, I got
Night
you.
of Champions.
So you're saying Cody Rhodes and Brock Lesnar will be part of the triple threat match? I get it.
I think so. Yeah. Why not?
I don't know.
I don't know who the other guy's going to be, but
well, why not? Yeah. Why not?
Yeah.
Yeah. Why not?
Anyways, overall, I thought the pay-per-view wasn't the best. So.
Well, we thought it was
All
excellent.
right, I'll leave it with that. Talk to you guys later.
All right.
Whoa.
Bye-bye.
Boy, you should have known by now. Easy dough.
All
he
right.
just slammed that door and went, I'm out of here.
Well, we enjoyed the pay-per-view. But, Eric...
but it wasn't pay-per-view.
Well, I'm sorry. Premium live event is what they call it now. I'm still used to calling it pay-per-view.
Oh, it just dawned on me that we pay for that.
That's what they used to call those pay-per-views.
No, I wasn't. Right over my head.
Phone line is open. Erich Pilcher, if you'd like to call in at 603-250-6007. I saw that you were trying to call.
Still one line.
What's that?
Still one line. It'd be fun to have more than one line. I want to bring a bunch of people on air. That would be fun. No, it wouldn't. It'd be crazy.
Probably not. Yeah.
A little annoying.
Wouldn't be. Might not be fun. We should say hello to everybody in the Facebook live chat. Oh, actually, we'll go ahead and grab this call. Hello, sir.
Good afternoon, Matt and Jenny. How are you?
Good. How are you?
Ducky.
Oh, I'm doing well. I just wanted to take this opportunity to apologize on air.
No.
Stop.
You do not owe anyone an apology.
Well, I do because I should have went with my gut when I was watching it. And
You tried to hold your nose and jump in.
There are so many things that I still laughed at it, but at the same time, Jenny brought up a very good point. What was acceptable in 1999, now there are some things there that you're like, well, it's funny. Yeah, I should have pumped the brakes on it too and been like, hey, Matt, we need a plan B.
Well, it's all good. It's all good. Like I said, I posted it, I shared it out, and it's on the website, and so people can give it a listen. I thought it was an excellent review. Yeah.
Yeah. And that's the thing is I also wanted to because in media, there's always this thing when something like this occurs, and I've seen it where the audience thinks that, the creator has an issue with the person who said we're moving it here. And I wanted to take the opportunity to say, absolutely not. I totally understand. And it makes perfect sense.
Yeah. No, I knew you would. You were very cool and professional about it when I expressed my concern, which I knew you would be. So no, it's all good. I was just like, oh yeah, and I loved what you said that sometimes when you're a creator, you have to take a risk, and you do, but let it be a calculated one. Right.
And this, I should have listened to my gut when after I watched it Tuesday night, I was like, this is going to be a tough one because this isn't just simple naughty words that you're editing out. This is other things that you're cutting, and
Yeah.
yeah.
Well.
So yeah, I just wanted it to be publicly known. I totally agree with the decision. It makes perfect sense, and next time I will listen to my somewhat large stomach when it says, "Hey, let's hold off."
Well, by the way, if it makes you feel any better, Art and Love, who I strongly suspect is from Greensboro, North Carolina, in the chat room says, Erich, we say that's okay. We heard the man said. So there you go.
Ooh, the man.
Well, I appreciate that. Thank you. And I would never want to do anything to jeopardize what I have being able to contribute to your show and WMNA.
Oh, my gosh.
Oh, of course, yeah. Oh, and by the way, too, we did have some American Pie on the show recently anyway, because we played President, is it Soon? From South Korea when he performed part of American Pie at the White House during his visit.
Oh.
The Don McLean song.
Lovely.
You
Just what the world needs right now.
Oh, it was actually pretty. It was actually pretty cool. It sounds like you didn't see it.
No, I did not.
Oh.
Like working 11:30 to 8 now, I'm
Yeah.
pretty much out of the loop until I get home
Yeah, yeah.
and digest everything.
Yeah.
But working in a retention department for a cable company, there are things you choose just not to look at because you're like so wiped when you get home. You're like, okay, let's watch something stupid. Oh, look, 2.5 Men reruns are on.
Now, why aren't you at work right now?
I'm on lunch.
Oh, you're on lunch.
Oh, and you're spending your lunch with us. That's so sweet.
Yeah, well, I wanted to kind of chime in and let it be known that I do apologize for it. It should have thought better of it, and yeah.
Yeah. Well, like I said, accepted, but also completely unnecessary. No worries at all.
I know it was. I
No
knew you would
worries.
say it was unnecessary, but to me it was.
Oh, all right.
So.
All right. Well, it's all good. And what's the? I don't have it in front of me. What's the review for Friday? I forget. I don't have the schedule. pulled up.
Training Day.
Oh yes. I love that movie.
Probably the movie that changed everyone's opinion of Denzel Washington. I mean, because really until that point, he had only played good guys.
That's true. Yeah, that
or
was
guys
yeah.
that you could be emotionally vested in.
Yeah, that's true.
And then he plays this cop and just does an amazing job with it. And yeah, I mean, Ethan Hawke ended up winning. I believe he won the Academy Award for Best Supporting Actor for that film. And it's like, without Denzel, he doesn't win squat.
Oh yeah, I mean Ethan Hawke is very good in it, but yeah, Denzel. I mean it's Denzel's movie, and yeah, he is truly remarkable, and he's one of my favorite actors anyway. He's just one of those.
Oh,
you can't take your eyes off of him when he's on the screen, you know.
He is also so. He does such a great job navigating through political stuff too. And doesn't do it in a way where he's blowing off the question.
Yeah.
But does it in a way that makes you think. Like, there's this video of him online where someone brings up how, did you decide to direct fences because only a black person could direct fences? And he goes, no, anyone could have directed it. He goes, you got to understand, there's a difference between race and culture. And he does such an amazing job of putting it in perspective, where he's like, could someone else have directed Goodfellas? Yeah, they could have. But would it have been as good as Martin Scorsese doing it? No. Why? Because that's Martin's culture.
Right.
That's what he was around. So there's more that they can add when it's culture.
Yeah.
But he really challenged the person asking the question to think outside the box
Right.
on what they believed.
Right. Right.
It's an amazing video. When I get back to my work desk, I will find it and send it to you.
Yeah. I'd be
But
curious to see it. Yeah.
It is really. It made me think.
Yeah.
Like, and then you're like, he's really 1,000,000% accurate on this.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah. Please, yeah, send me that. I'd like to check that out.
Yeah, he does stuff like that all the time.
Yeah.
He doesn't. It's just so awesome how he does it. Like, it's not condescending, it's not rude, but you're like, you learn something, and I've learned something from every interview I've seen of him.
By the way,
and what he in
oh, go ahead.
In the guts he showed when they filmed American Gangster, Frank Lucas, the guy he played in that movie, was a drug kingpin.
Mm-hmm.
He murdered people. Denzel Washington sat across from him in a room at a table and said, I will not glorify you. I think you're a horrible human being, but I am doing this role so the glorification of people like you will end.
Mm. Yeah.
To have the moral fiber to talk to someone like Frank Lucas like that.
Right.
Like, I've never heard of anyone talking to a reputed gangster like that.
Right, right.
And Denzel did it.
Yeah.
He said,
by the way, Art and Love said in the chat room, we say Denzel Washington is a good actor. He did good movies. Hashtag Matt and hashtag Erich.
He is. And the thing is there are movies that he's been in I have never seen. And people are like,
same.
Like,
yeah.
If you ask people, what's your favorite Denzel movie? You have like 50 people in a room. You might get 30 different answers.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Like Bone Collector, never seen it. Glory, never seen it.
Yep. I've never seen Glory. Yeah.
Devil in a Blue Dress, never seen it. Mo Better Blues, never seen it. Those are films that people are like, he was amazing in this.
Yeah. Yeah, he's in a lot of movies.
I tried to watch Fences and I couldn't. Just too much.
I've not seen that.
It's a great film, what I saw, but there's so much emotion in it, and it's so powerful, it's overwhelming.
Oh, okay.
But yeah. So yeah, he really is a great one.
Yep. Absolutely. All right, and we're still on for Wednesday?
Yes. I am doing research on what has happened to our good buddy Tucker since he posted his video basically being a martyr and playing himself to be the victim in all this.
Of course. There's good money in that.
There's no money in mea culpas here.
Yeah, there's always, it's part of the grift.
Oh, yeah, but there's no money in saying my bad, I guess.
No, there is not. No, there is not. Cool.
So, yeah. Jenny, you have anything to add?
Nope. Nope. I'm just over here
All right,
minding my business.
Well, I've taken up enough of the show's time today. I am going to enjoy my Philly cheesesteak here on National Cheesesteak Day, and you guys have a good rest of the show.
All right, Erich. Thank you for the call. I appreciate it.
Hey, thank you, and I appreciate being a member of the WMNH family and everything you allow me to do on your show. Thank you, sir.
Oh, you got it. All right, Erich. We'll talk to you soon.
Bye.
All right, bye-bye. All right, that was our friend Erich Pilcher, and he'll be calling in Wednesday for some media talk, and we're making that a regular segment. And then, of course, Friday the review is Training Day. Have you seen Training Day?
No, actually.
Oh, Really
I don't
good.
think so.
Really good movie.
If I did, I forgot.
Yeah, you'd remember if you saw it.
Not necessarily. You say that all the time, but you forget my Swiss cheese.
Your Swiss cheese memory.
Yes.
Yeah, Training Day is not. You'd remember if you saw
Medications
Training
have
Day.
not been kind to my brain.
You'd remember. You'd remember if you'd seen Training Day.
Oh, wait a minute. Is that with Pain?
Pain?
No. Is it a comedy?
No, it's a dark film.
Oh, then it's not what I'm thinking of.
He and he plays he and Ethan Hawke, his partner in the film. They're both undercover officers, and but
Is this about an assault?
Denzel is very corrupt, and
Really?
and Ethan Hawke is very sort. Well, that's why, like Erich was saying, it's the first time that Denzel had really played a bad guy.
Yeah,
in a
no,
movie.
I've definitely never seen it.
Up to
I've
that-
never seen him be a bad guy.
Up to that point, he'd always been the hero. Yeah, he's the bad guy in the movie, and Ethan Hawke is kind of the young, idealistic, the new partner who doesn't know what he's getting into, being Denzel's partner. And it's an excellent film, I think. If you'd like to jump in, 603-250-6007, 603-250-6007. Coming up in the second hour today, we have Bees Deluxe is going to be with us in studio. Bees. So we look forward to that. But if you'd like to get in with a call before then, and we do have a call. And looks like our friend Shannon is on the line. Hi, Shannon.
Good afternoon. How are you?
Good. How are you?
Okay. Didn't he play like a cameo in that movie?
In Training Day?
Yeah.
I don't know.
He was, I believe he was in a wheelchair.
Oh, is that in Training Day? Yeah, that might be. That might be, Shannon. I haven't seen that movie in a very long time. I think
Yes, you are correct.
Oh, Jenny
Snoop
looked it up.
Dogg made an appearance. Dr. Dre made an appearance. Eva Mendes, Tom Bergeron.
Bergeron?
Sorry. Cliff Curtis. There might be some more here. Oh, yes, there's quite a few people in this movie.
Yes.
Yeah.
Quite a
Okay.
few.
I didn't know all the other ones, but I remember Snoop.
Yep.
You are right. He
Okay.
is up there on that top row.
Okay, that was it. That was a good movie.
Yeah. All right, Shannon. Well, thank you
All right.
Thank you for the call.
Yep, take care.
All right, bye-bye. All right, that was our friend Shannon. That does open up the line for you, 603-250-6007, 603-250-6007. By the way, our friend Marco Mueller, I'm not sure how to pronounce it. It's got the umlauts over the U because he's from the band Factory of Art. But I see who we interviewed recently on the show, but I see he is in the chat room.
Nice to see you.
We'll say hello to everybody else in here, too. Melanie La Liberty from the great state of Vermont joins us in the chat. Hello. Also, Eazy-G, who we talked to on the phone earlier, says hi to my peeps. Melanie says, hi, Erich. I think referring to Eazy-G. My friend who has not defriended me yet. Oh, that's good. I mean, he will eventually, I assume, right?
Stop it.
Miriam Banish also joins us in the Facebook live chat. Hello, Miriam.
Terrible.
Jenny, I see you're in there.
I'm everywhere.
Art and Love said, hello, hashtag Matt and hashtag Jenn. We say, and we are a pop singing girl group, Art and Love from Greensboro, North Carolina.
No.
Yes. And then
don't say.
Well, and then Art and Love said, we say that is so true. Hashtag Jenn. Hi, hashtag Erich Pilcher. We say, we hope you tell a story of an 80s movie is Hiding Out, 1987, starring John Cryer and Keith Coogan. I don't remember seeing that one on the list.
Nope.
I've never even heard of that movie.
I'm not clicking in my head. Nope.
J-Fed, of course, is in the chat room. Good afternoon. Melanie was very excited about the wrestling conversation. She loves that.
She does.
When we talk about wrestling
I can see her
on the
jumping from joy all the way.
Yes, she does. She does love it.
Yes, she was very excited.
Rhonda Favero is in the Facebook live chat and says howdy from sunny Southern California. Hello, Rhonda.
It's a good thing they're having some sun, I guess.
Yes.
California's been beat up.
Yeah. They had a harder winter than we did in some ways. Incredible.
Oh, very much so. Yeah.
Art and Love in the chat says, we are friends with Karen Edmonds. She is from Greensboro, North Carolina, and now she lives in Winston-Salem, North Carolina. We say today is our friend Karen Edmonds' birthday. We say to wish her a happy birthday to Karen Edmonds. Send her a birthday card to her. We said, hashtag Matt and hashtag Jenn. We say if you both can.
Happy birthday.
Yeah, that's about as close to a card as you're getting.
Yes, pretty much.
Yeah.
I thought I put a little effort into it, though. There was a little oomph.
Yes. Our brief discussion of murder being bad, usually. Melanie said usually bad. Can you give examples of when it is good? Yeah, no, murder is bad.
She's asking us for those examples?
Yeah.
She's the one that's the horror flick chickie.
I know, right?
She should be telling us when it's acceptable.
Yes. Art and Love in the chat says, we say Ricky Martin is from Puerto Rico. Hashtag Matt and hashtag Jenn. He is a recording singing artist now. He was 12 years old back in the 80s boy band Menudo. Yes.
Ah, yes.
And who did he play on General Hospital?
I can't remember.
Miguel.
I can't remember that character.
Oh, really? You don't remember Ricky
No,
Martin on
it's not.
General Hospital?
No, it's not clicking
That's,
for
that's
me.
how he first became famous, beyond Menudo,
I
of
wonder
course.
if that was after I was paying attention less.
Probably, yeah. Melanie also said in the chat room, you're killing me. Oh, that was probably...
Did you hurt yourself over there?
You know what I think it was? No, she said that. You know what I think it was is when the wrestling talk wrapped up and we moved on to another subject. She was very disappointed. So
She's
she
crying.
was like, no.
Oh, don't cry. It's okay. We can talk more.
I'm convinced I'm not saying this person's name right ever, but hello to Dari Nordine in the Facebook live chat.
Yes, my buddy.
Oh, that's someone you know.
Yes.
Oh, okay. Am I saying that name
We've
even
been-
remotely correctly? Do you know?
Yes, I think so.
Oh, good.
We've been friends for a number of years, communicating with one another.
Oh, good.
He's in a very warm, sunny place.
Ah.
Like I think he's in Morocco.
Oh, okay. Very nice. Very nice. JFed said in the chat room, maybe I should start doing the movie reviews. Oh, my goodness.
Now. Don't step on toes.
JFed also said, I think Erich Pilcher should write an official apology letter to the station and to the listeners.
God.
Oh, my goodness. And Melanie says, I concur. I am totally upset.
Oh, you're always upset.
JFed said, and disappointed. And Melanie said, shocked, disappointed, and upset. I'm going to need to go lay down for a while until I can compose myself.
She's verklempt.
Wow.
Aye.
My goodness.
Take a deep breath, darling. You'll be all right.
And JFed said, I will send you my review on training day, Matt. You decide which one you use.
Stop it.
Oh, my goodness.
Now there will be none of that.
Oh, my goodness.
Separate you two.
JFed also said, shall I come on the show on Wednesday so we can tell Erich together I'm taking over for him?
Wow, you're in a mood today, aren't you?
Yeah, he's getting in
He
there.
must have froze his brain too far.
Wow.
You know he likes to dunk in ice water.
Art and Love says, yes, we say Ricky Martin, a.k.a. Miguel, on Soaps ABC's General Hospital. Yes.
See, I only really watched it when I was young and it was on the TV when I would come home from school. Because when I got older, I had after school sports and stuff, so I was never there to watch it.
So Sonny Corinthos,
Yes, I remember him.
played by Maurice Bernard, he owned a record label with I can't remember her name.
He was a mob boss.
Yes. He had a record label and they signed Miguel.
I'm not remembering this record label thing.
And they also signed Ned Quartermain, but he had a different name when he was performing. And they were the two. So they had Ned Quartermain and
Don't
Miguel.
remember this.
Yes.
I do not remember
It's
this.
true. Yeah. Ned Quartermain in his leather pants. It was a different side of Ned Quartermain.
You have leather pants.
I do. There's somewhere.
You should wear them.
There's somewhere in a drawer.
Often.
Somewhere.
I think I might know.
Tucked away.
I will find them.
Well, maybe. 603-250-6007 is the studio line. 603-250-6007. There was a, I'm sure Erich had referred to this, Tucker Carlson, of course, there's been a lot of discussion recently, media figures like Tucker Carlson and
Why?
Steven Crowder, another example, Don Lemon, of course, and others. But so there was this text message, and I'm sure this will come up again on Wednesday in my conversation with Erich Pilcher. But there was this text message, and I've been dying to talk about this on the show. It's a very long text message that Tucker Carlson had sent to one of his producers at Fox. And some people are saying they think that this might be the reason that he was fired. I don't think it is. I don't think that has anything to do with it. But it's been interesting to see the different reactions to people in media to this. I've seen some people like, who was it? Matt Walsh from the Daily Wire. He really likes Tucker's text message because it shows such great introspection. And, it shows what a thinker he is and how he thinks about things and these issues. And of course, people on the left are saying, look at how racist Tucker Carlson is with this text message. And they're kind of reducing it to that. The truth is, it's very long. It actually ends in a sort of it ends on a somewhat positive note and an introspective note.
I know what you're saying by that, yeah.
But the way that we get to that is really kind of not good. There's some things that go on in this guy's head on his way to the way that he ends a text message. So I'm just going to read. If you haven't heard this yet, I'm going to read the whole thing. It's long. I don't think I've ever in my life sent a text message this long, but apparently he sent this to somebody at Fox when he was still working there. Okay, here's what it says. A couple of weeks ago, I was watching video of people fighting on the street in Washington. A group of Trump guys surrounded an Antifa kid and started pounding the living blank out of him. It was 3 against 1, at least. Jumping a guy like that is dishonorable, obviously. It's not how white men fight. Yet suddenly I found myself rooting for the mob against the man, hoping they'd hit him harder, kill him. I really wanted them to hurt the kid. I could taste it. Then somewhere deep in my brain, an alarm went off. This isn't good for me. I'm becoming something I don't want to be. The Antifa creep is a human being. Much as I despise what he says and does, much as I'm sure I'd hate him personally if I knew him, I shouldn't gloat over his suffering. I should be bothered by it. I should remember that somewhere somebody probably loves this kid and would be crushed if he was killed. If I don't care about those things, if I reduce people to their politics, how am I better than he is? So by the time he gets to the end of the text, he arrives at a good conclusion. You shouldn't root for the suffering or murder of others because that makes you bad if you do that. And you shouldn't, as he put it himself here, you shouldn't reduce people to their politics. But the way he gets to that ultimate conclusion is scary. A lot of people have seized on this is not how white men fight.
Seriously, that's a line that I have issues with.
That's the one that everyone's looking at and saying, look how racist that is.
Who thinks of that? Never have I ever discussed something like that, and I think I must put these were white, these were... you discuss something that you see, you tell what you see. But for him to go to that length to specifically say white people...
Yeah.
With his brain playing around with, because it's certainly not the same world mine does.
I mean, is he trying to say that...
expect white people. What does that mean even? What does that even mean? What white people?
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, is that is he saying he'd prefer that they fought like on January 6th where they had weapons or something, and that's how white men fight? Is that what he means?
Or maybe he just wanted them to drive a car through a parade of people and hope, see how many they could take out.
Yeah.
So people some tiki torches to go with it.
So people are really seizing on that comment, and rightfully so.
I seized on it.
Yeah. Oh, of course. Yeah. I mean, that's the one sentence that jumps out of this whole thing more than anything else. So yeah.
Well, it's a pretty big deal sentence. It's not. I mean.
Yeah. No,
most people don't think white. That's not where your brain goes.
Right. Right.
Yeah, but I was really bothered too because. Well, no, go on.
Well, now, and the other thing that's really alarming here, again. He ends the text with a positive conclusion. If I reduce people to their politics, how am I any better than they are? That's good. But in addition to the racist comment, some of this other stuff, like when he talks about I mean, again, I'm glad he got past this part in his mind, but that this was even in his mind to begin with is disturbing when he said, I really wanted them to hurt the kid. I could taste it.
Yes.
Then somewhere deep in my brain, an alarm went off. Now, again, okay. Deep in his brain, an alarm went off. That's good. I'm glad that alarm went off.
You really want to see somebody get beat because you don't agree with their politics?
I'm glad the alarm went off in his brain. That's good. But that he even needed that alarm to go off in his brain, that he had a moment where they wanted him to kill him and he said, I could taste it.
Yeah, what is that like?
That's psycho. Like, I've never in my life thought, had these kind of thoughts. I don't know.
That you could taste somebody's death.
Yeah.
I know. Jonathan Greenblatt from the Anti-Defamation League flat out says that, as far as, this isn't news to him, that Tucker Carlson is a white nationalist.
Mm-hmm.
Period. He didn't mince words at all. Not at all. And I would have to agree. He certainly sounds like one. Yeah. So, and when you listen to some of the ways that he talks about people on the other side, when they're, when there's a protest or something going on, he refers to people as animals. Mm-hmm. He calls them mass terrorists. He uses all of these words to describe the other side, but he doesn't want to judge people by their politics. Like he incites it. Right. He encourages it.
Well, he benefits from it in terms of his career, certainly.
Well, yeah. You want those monies coming in,
Yeah.
You need those food buckets to commercialize or what have you, because, that's under his area of the world.
I mean, the dude's got some darkness in him. To have those kinds of thoughts while watching someone getting beaten up, I mean.
Seriously, how can you watch something like that and take joy in it?
A lot of people can. It's a lot of people have something like that in them, though, where it's like if they don't like somebody, they're fine with seeing them beaten. It's scary.
Do you know where we saw that the worst?
People are scary. Where?
Floyd.
Oh, George Floyd?
When George Floyd died, people were justifying it with he was a bad guy. He'd gotten arrested. He had a past.
Well, there's always,
and he deserved it.
There's always that narrative that comes out from some people. Yeah, they'll find a reason to somehow justify it.
And the man was murdered.
Oh yeah,
in front of us, in front of people. There was a medical person there going, "Get off him! Check him." Wouldn't listen to anybody. Yeah. And there's these white nationalist groups seized onto that and claimed it as a success. Here we finally won one. They saw this as a good thing. That's what more people need to do. Just beat people up.
Well, what happens is the play that they run is they find something, they find out that he had a criminal record, and it's like gold to them.
All bets are off.
It's like once they realize that, then they're very happy. Then they have what they need.
Oh, you've been arrested? I hope they beat the crap out of you. That's literally. It's like. Then why do we bother talking about trying to reduce recidivism and trying to let people better their lives and be different? If you're going to judge them for that one crime forever, right, and use that as justification to violently beat them to death. Yeah. I can't fix you. I don't know what's wrong with you. You're lacking something in humanity that I just can't see. Yeah. It should never be that way. We're supposed to be a civilized society that, we have ways of dealing with things that are supposed to be conversational based. Yeah. Not fist fighting and hitting people over the heads or crushing their throats or choking them to death. This is not okay.
Crushing a police officer in a door.
Yeah.
During an insurrection. Yeah. Things like that. Yeah.
Every time. Yeah. That's the vision of that guy is seared into my head.
That's not how white men fight. I don't understand why that happened.
But
according to Tucker.
Or women for that matter.
Right.
Wasn't the vast majority of all of those on June 6th? What were they?
January 6th?
Yeah, January 6th. What were those vast majority
of
those?
They were light-skinned folks, yeah.
Dare say white people? Is that how they fight? Oh, I get it. I get it. This is how we fight. We take an American flag pole with an American flag on it and beat the crap out of a police officer with it. Mm-hmm. And we take the police officer's shield and try to crush him in a door. Or better yet, we scream, get his gun, kill him with his own gun. Do you remember that with the police officer that ended up having a heart attack because he was beaten so badly?
Yeah.
He remembers people screaming, get his gun, kill him with his own gun.
Yeah.
That's how, this is how white people treat police officers, I guess. And this is how white people don't fight.
Well, we are approaching the top of the hour, and I see we have a guest in the hallway. So, so we're gonna go ahead.
Music is coming.
We're gonna go to break. I'm gonna play a song from Bees Deluxe called "Flat Earth Conspiracy."
Perfect.
One of their great songs.
Perfect.
So we're gonna give this a spin, and then we'll show some love to our amazing sponsors, and then we'll be back with Bees Deluxe in studio with us in the second hour. There is plenty more to come of Matt Connarton Unleashed. Don't go away. Yeah, you can go ahead. Down to the Hop Knot at 1000 Elm Street, Manchester's premier craft beer and gourmet pretzel bar. Tell us more, Trudy.
We make our dough fresh every day. We make a variety of styles of pretzels and serve craft beer, cocktails, and a few bottles of wine. We do the traditional pretzel, and we have multiple flavors for that. We also do stuffed pretzels, pretzel sandwiches, free dessert pretzels, and pretzel knots.
The Hop Knot in the Brady Sullivan Plaza at 1000 Elm Street.
Bring your kitchen to life with Queen City Cabinetry, located at 87 Elm Street in the historic Sunbeam Mall in Manchester. Open Monday through Friday, 9 a.m. to 5:30 p.m. and Saturdays, 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. They can be reached at 603-222-2007 or on the web at queencitycabinetry.com. WMNH.com. Come see the possibilities. Queen City Cabinetry, another proud sponsor of WMNH.
Clemento's Pizzeria, family friendly, awesome for a date night. Clemento's Pizzeria. For delivery, call 603-782-8450. Clemento's Pizzeria, the best pizza in town. 1875 South Willow Street in Manchester, New Hampshire. Best cocktails around. Come in as friends and leave as family.
This hour on WMNH is sponsored by CGI Business Solutions, located at 5 Dartmouth Drive in Auburn. They serve all your business needs, including employee benefits planning, corporate design and business administration, investments and wealth management, and customized business insurance solutions. Their phone number is 866-841-4600 or on the web at cgibusinesssolutions.com.
WMNH, rip the knob off.
Welcome back, everybody. We are in hour number 2, numero dos of Matt Connarton Unleashed, and we are live from the studios of WMNH 95.3 FM in glorious downtown Manchester, New Hampshire. Also on Comcast 97 if you're in Manchester. And hello to all of our online listeners across the nation and around the globe. You can go to my website, mattconnerton.com, for all your live streaming options, social media links, contact info, show archives, etc., etc. Today is Monday, May 8th, 2023. Jenny is here at the news desk.
Present and accounted for.
And on the couch, we have Conrad. How do you say your last name? Is it Warre?
Warre, like in Second World War.
Oh, Warre. Conrad Warre from the band Bees Deluxe. How are you? Welcome.
Very well. Thanks for having me.
Yeah. We've been playing some of your stuff on the show. And now you're not from these parts originally, are you?
I consider myself from Brooklyn, but I'm actually from London.
Okay. Now, why do you consider yourself from Brooklyn? Did you live there for a while?
Well,
or?
If you're brought up in England, everything is easy. You know, people go to sleep in the middle of the day. They don't work. They don't do anything. They just crown people.
Oh.
But then when you move to America, suddenly you find you've actually got to work and meet people and find things and do jobs. And so I moved to Brooklyn and New York, and I found it was a baptism of fire.
Yeah.
Ooh.
So immediately, it was like being in New York for 6 months was like 6 years in university in England.
Wow.
It's much, much harder.
So so the lyrics to Hang Fire by the Rolling Stones, that's actually accurate,
That's
is
pretty,
what you're saying.
pretty fair, yes.
I'll be damned. When did you come to the United States?
So I was in New York in the early 80s.
Okay.
And I put an ad in the Village Voice, and I got a drummer and a bass player, and I auditioned for Hilly at the CBGB's on a Monday night. And he said, "You guys are all right. Come back tomorrow." And then after that, he says, "You guys are all right. Come back on a Wednesday." So, and after 6 months, we worked our way up to playing on Saturday night, 2 sets in between the headlining band.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, we opened for Dogs of War, which was the name of Living Colour in those days.
Oh, no kidding.
Yeah, fantastic band.
Oh, wow.
And HR from Bad Brains.
Oh, wow.
So we missed the early section with the Ramones and Talking Heads, but we got in the second wave when bands were still really interesting, but didn't quite go Billboard.
Okay. Oh, that must have been a great time to be there.
It was awesome.
Wow, that's amazing.
One night we were playing with Jonathan Gregg and the Lonesome Debonaires, and I don't know if you remember CB's, but the stage was to the side of the walk-through to the bathroom. So we're playing, Jonathan Gregg and his band are all at the bar drinking. They come back, all their guitars have gone out the back door.
Oh, my God.
You had to nail things down or hold them in your hands.
Yeah. Oh, geez. So you were there, when did you say? So early 80s?
Early 80s.
Okay.
Then my girl got a job in Boston, so I went, all right, I'll move up to Boston, and then started all over again.
Yeah.
And then we had a couple of kids, and I had to stay at home, make sure they didn't put forks in the electricity.
Right.
And then started up again. So I put together Bees Deluxe here in Boston.
Okay. What was the band called when you were in New York?
That band was called Invisible House.
Oh, that's a cool name. I like that.
Yeah.
Now, where does the name Bees Deluxe come from? What does that mean?
It's a combination of a pub in London and an amplifier that I use to this day.
Oh, no kidding.
Yeah.
Oh, cool.
Well, I had to come up with a name very, very fast because I was in a bar with a friend of mine called Maurice, and he said, you should play here. And I went, I don't have a band. He says, well, I'm going to book you. What's the name of the band?
Yeah.
So we played the next Friday.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah.
There you go. Yeah, I have a friend, Mike Laughlin, who used to be in a band called Something, because he was on the spot. He was he was supposed to play somewhere, and they didn't have a name for the band yet, and he just called it Something, and actually stuck with it for a while.
So listeners should beware, because I have a neighbor in Jamaica Plain who started a band, and he called it Hot Dog, and I went, you're an idiot. If people go on Google and search for Hot Dog, they're never going to find you.
Right.
So you've got to do something that's off center.
Oh yeah. Oh, absolutely. And also too something that you can be reasonably sure that somebody doesn't already have.
Right.
Yeah. So that makes sense. I mean, how quick did you have to come up with that? Like, did you do a search online to make sure there wasn't already a band somewhere called Bees Deluxe? Or did you?
We were in the rehearsal studio.
Yeah.
On the phone booking it.
Yeah.
So that's it.
That's great. That's great. That's very rock and roll.
Yeah.
Cool. So, what was it like, starting in the music scene in Boston in contrast to New York? Was it drastically different in some ways? Or?
The scenes were and still are very different.
Yeah.
In New York, many of the clubs are 4 bands a night, backline provided, bring 150 people or we'll never book you again.
Mm-hmm.
And they're like sausage factories.
Yeah.
They just churn you in and churn you out.
Yeah.
And some are better than others. Some have actual people who care about music. Boston, we tend to play gigs where we play for 3 hours.
Okay.
So we're playing in a room where the management and the bartenders like us.
Yeah.
They'll tell their friends. And once the customers have seen us once, they come back for the next one.
Yeah.
So we play anywhere from dive bars, like Vincent's in Worcester. I mean, if there's 45 people in there, it's packed.
Yeah.
It's a great dive bar. And then we'll play Boston City Winery, Haymarket Lounge, where they're very Tony, and they serve meals.
Yeah.
And people sit down.
Yeah.
So there's a range, but we like to play on our own, because that's why you want to play, is you want to play as much as possible.
So you'll do a 3-hour set,
take a break in the middle and run out for a cigarette or something. But if you're only playing for 40 minutes, you barely got the plane off the ground.
Right. You've got a lot of originals, and we've been playing some of them today, but you also have quite a few covers, I would imagine, right?
So our philosophy is to play covers that aren't played by everybody else.
Yeah.
And reverse engineer them so they're different.
Okay.
So we'll take a song like Damn Your Eyes by Etta James, and we'll play it in a different key, in a different tempo, in a different feel, and then get rid of one chorus and put a break in there instead.
Oh, okay.
And then stretch.
Yeah.
So a lot of what we do is improvisational. We don't really know where we're going to go until we've hit it.
Yeah. Do you run into it where someone will? Has anyone ever come up to you and said, "Hey, I really like that song, a certain song," and they assumed it was one of yours, but it was actually a song that was a cover that you took and reverse engineered?
Exactly that. We played for 2 hours at the House of Blues when it was at Harvard Square in Cambridge.
Yeah.
And the couple came up to me at the end and they said, "You guys are really good. You should play some covers." And we've been playing ZZ Top, Jimi Hendrix, Etta James, Freddie King, Albert King, and they liked the tunes, but they didn't know that they'd heard them before.
That's funny. Yeah. Yeah, because, subconsciously there's something in the backs of their minds that's going to connect with that because they have heard it before, but they don't know what it is because they don't recognize it. That's interesting. That's really cool. Our friend DJ Steve is in the chat room. He says, "Hi, you're getting some some glitching. Oh, okay. Nothing I can do about that." Rhonda Favero says, "Living Color, excellent band." Yeah, that's cool. You said, what were they called? Dogs of War before they were Living Color?
Yeah, that was their sort of hidden name.
Oh, okay.
You know, like when the Stones played St. Morgan's Cove, I don't know what they call themselves, but they played to 50 people there.
Yeah. You said you live in Jamaica Plain?
Yeah.
You ever play the Midway Cafe?
Yes, as much as possible.
Really? Yeah.
Yeah. And they've opened up. They've got the room next door as well. So now there's a horseshoe bar and you can get behind it and in front of it.
Oh, okay.
So they got double the space than when I used to play in a long time ago.
Oh, okay. I used to do back when I did a lot of promoting. I used to do shows there. Like for a while, it was like once a month at the Midway, but they didn't have that other space then,
Right.
so it was small. It was cool. It was a lot of fun.
It's still going strong.
It was a long time ago. It's probably not even the same owners now. But
I think it's Jay Balerna and Dave quit. They were two brothers.
Oh, I'll be damned. So Dave is still. I remember Dave.
Jay is the serious one, and Dave was the nut job. He and I would go up on the roof and throw bottles at cars going past.
Oh my God! Yeah, Dave is the one I would deal with there. I remember Dave. So he's still there.
No, Dave has vanished, but Jay is still there.
Oh, Dave. Okay. See, yeah. I don't think I ever dealt with Jay. I don't think I ever met Jay. I think it was all Dave. Dave is What do you mean he's vanished?
I haven't seen him for a while.
Oh, okay. But he's not actually missing, is he?
No, but I don't think he's working that room.
Oh, okay. I was afraid something had happened to him.
No.
Because I have good memories with Dave, and it sounds like you have some good memories with him as well. Although,
yeah, definitely.
Although not necessarily the best thing to be doing. But so when did you end up in Boston? Would that have been late 80s or?
Yeah, late 80s, early 90s.
Okay.
What happened was I got a job because my then girlfriend got a job as a night science fellow at MIT. She was the science journalist.
Okay.
I got a job. I was in design. I got a job at Rykodisc as production manager. So I went to Salem every day on Pickering Wharf, and I dealt with Frank Zappa and his wife Gail.
Really?
David Bowie, Yoko Ono. All the releases that we put on Rykodisc. We repackaged artists who were fed up with their major labels.
Yes. Yeah, I'm very familiar with Rykodisc. Yeah. Oh, wow, that's cool.
Yeah.
How long did you do that?
I'm guessing 4 or 5 years.
Okay.
I sort of quit because I got fed up with the fact that they didn't A&R anything. Everything was recataloguing.
Yeah.
And the final straw for me was that there was a band called Gallon Drunk. Gallon Drunk were Morrissey's boyfriend and his pals, and Sire Records convinced my boss that we should put out 2 albums by Gallon Drunk because they were going to tour opening for Morrissey, and we were going to sell 50,000 copies of each album.
Yeah.
And that Conrad had to put them out in 5 days, meaning me.
Yeah.
So I mean, I didn't kill myself because I'm still alive today to tell the story.
Yeah.
But I put out these albums, and they were horrible.
Oh, really?
Really horrible. We killed ourselves doing it. So I went to the boss, and I go, I can't do this anymore. You know, it's like operating on a corpse.
Yeah, I was going to say, I've not even heard of Gallon Drunk.
Right. Be thankful.
Yeah. Wow, that must have been a great experience, though.
It was. It was a lot of fun. Really fast moving, and a lot of great artists, and and very nice to do things that were good for the industry. So, for instance, we started Band the Box. You're probably too young to remember this, but when they switched from vinyl to CD, everything came in 12-inch long boxes.
Yes, I do remember that, actually.
Complete waste of cardboard and printing and money. And so we started this movement called Band the Box.
Oh.
And we got that kicked out. And then I was working with Philips DuPont Optical in Minneapolis. And together with them, I invented see-through jewel cases.
Oh, no kidding.
And then I invented the green dye that we put in Rykodisc.
Okay.
So when you looked at the disc, you knew it was a Rykodisc album because it was green.
Okay.
Lime green.
Oh, wow.
And as soon as we came out with the first releases like that, you know, everybody from the country was calling me, how did you do that? Where did you get that done?
Yeah.
You know, like Geffen Records were mad that they hadn't come up with it.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, wow. Did you sell them the technology
The recipe?
or something?
No, I told them to get lost.
That's awesome. Wow. If you're just joining us, we're talking with Conrad Warre from the band Bees Deluxe, but he's also been pretty well steeped in the music industry in other ways too. This is a cool surprise because I love talking about this stuff. So where did you go? So after you left Rykodisc, where did you go then?
Well, what happened immediately after that was the internet came out.
Yeah.
Rykodisc went under, and they got picked up by Island, Palm Records, Island, and they drove it into the ground, and now it's moved to Rhino on the West Coast.
Okay.
And Rhino managed it as a back catalog. I don't think it's an active label. But I went and I was designing books and magazines and CDs and posters, and the internet came out. An editor gave me a little floppy disk, said, "You'll like this, Conrad. It's something called Mosaic." And I put it into a computer, and I went, I can see the code. This is desktop publishing, but from computer to computer. So then I stayed awake for 2 weeks learning how to write code and how to write Director and Flash when it came out.
Yeah. Oh, wow.
So I was doing that during the day and then playing at night.
Yeah. Oh, no kidding.
Yeah.
Huh. Yeah. So you've lived through all the changes in the.
And the one that's coming up now is AI. We're all going to live through that.
Yeah. Well, any predictions on that? Because I know some people are concerned that musicians are going to go away.
I'm not scared of that, but we are in a point. If you remember when cars were first invented, somebody had to walk in front of them with a red flag.
No.
Yeah, when people first had cars,
I didn't know that.
You had to have like a servant walk 30 feet in front of you with a red flag.
Oh, wow.
Watch out, there's a car coming.
Oh, no kidding.
I didn't know that.
And
wow.
we're at that stage with AI, because when I talk to AI like ChatGPT, I'll ask it some questions and I'll go, "I'm sorry, my database stops 2 years ago."
Yeah.
Or, "I'm sorry, that's an invasion of privacy. I can't tell you that."
Oh.
Or, "I'm sorry, we don't know." So it's early stages.
My son was talking about this with me earlier, actually, and he's in favor of a law to pass that if you're interacting with an AI, it has to be known to you that it's an AI.
Yeah. So it is already doing good things. So, for instance, doctors who are too much overworked with paperwork, they can say, "I've diagnosed my patient with X." And they'll write to the AI engine. They'll say, "Give me 3 different treatment plans for a patient with X who's 32 years old, a white male." Mm-hmm. And the AI engine will come back with 3 reputable treatment plans, and the doctor will be able to choose from that. And that saved them, I don't know, 2 hours in books.
Yeah, yeah.
Because they can't remember all of that stuff.
Right.
The AI not only remembers it, but is learning it and teaching itself that.
Okay.
Aren't you concerned, though, about it going too far? Like, I mean, people are like, what my son was talking about is he's tried to interact with some of the AIs that people are talking about. I think there's one that's on TikTok, maybe, and that he found it concerning how they could become one-sided or another. Like he said he interacted with one that was uber left liberal, but then there was another one that was uber right conservative, and he's worried about AI in those worlds.
It's just like the internet. It'll give you back what you put into it. So that now there's a new class of jobs the job is called a prompt engineer. That's somebody who knows how to talk to AI.
Okay.
It's a new job.
Yeah.
Really?
A prompt engineer. And the point of that is the AI itself doesn't care if you're a Republican or Democrat.
Right.
It's going to answer the question pending how you ask it. So you just have to be, it's like being scared of guns. Guns are dangerous, but it is possible to handle one without it going off.
Yeah.
And AI is dangerous, but it's possible to handle it without it going off.
Yeah. There was this story. I think it might have been at Facebook or Meta or whatever you call it now. Did you see this? We've talked about it on the show. These 2 AI bots or computers. They were talking to each other. Do you know the story I'm talking about?
I've heard of that, yeah.
They were talking to each other, and they came up with their own language to communicate with each other, and they ended up getting disconnected because people were like, we don't know what they're saying to each other. They seem to have their own language, and for all we know, they could be saying, let's kill all the humans and take over. So
that's just like what my parents used to say is, go upstairs, find out what the kids are doing, and tell them to stop it.
Right. There you go. Our friend Mike Doyle is on the line. Hi, Mike.
Hey, man. How you doing?
Good. How are you?
Very good. Thanks, Jenny. Nice to hear from you.
Nice to hear from
you. And I apologize. I just turned you on, and I heard the discussion about AI, and I didn't catch the gentleman's name.
Yeah, this is Conrad Warre. He's from the band Bees Deluxe. And we've really been talking about music and the music industry and so forth, but we took a little bit of a side street because AI, a big subject right now, is how is AI already beginning to affect the music industry?
What's your take on it, Mike?
Oh, okay.
What do you think, Mike?
Well, I apologize about, because I thought you were simply discussing AI, and I understand now you have with music and everything. My only question was, I heard a great discussion about a week ago, and it was about the many, many, many positive things that can come out of AI.
Mm-hmm.
Like you were just mentioning about the doctor and how many different remedies for what your ailment is, et cetera, and hours it could save and all this. But then they went to the discussion about the negative part of it,
mm-hmm.
and then how horrible the negative part could be in cloning people, making people guilty of crimes they didn't commit, things like that. And it was a really good discussion and the experts were saying that, yeah, there's a really, really dark side to it, and there's a really good upside, which is why everybody has a little bit of trepidation right now as to,
sure,
we want the good, but how do we stop the bad?
Right, exactly. Yeah, it's a subject we'll be discussing for many years to come, obviously, as it continues to advance. It seems like it's definitely here. It's like the moment came, we've been hearing about it for so long, and now it's like, oh, it's here. We've got the chat GPT.
And I know you don't like, I don't believe you like Musk, but when a guy who had his hand in the start of somewhat creating it says, hey, we should pause here for a moment, that worries me. You know what I mean? I say, holy cow, if he's worried.
Sure. There's a lot of people who are worried.
Take note.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Yep. It's something we want to proceed with caution with, certainly.
Yeah. All right. Well, I'm sorry. I didn't know you had crossed into music with it.
Yeah.
I thought it was strictly an AI.
So here's an example, Mike. There was a record released on the streaming networks by two artists that was created by AI, and the two artists named in it had nothing to do with it.
Mm-hmm.
And the record companies went ballistic because it got downloaded like 500,000 times in 2 weeks.
Yeah.
And they had to shut it down. But the point was, somebody using AI had made a song that sounded like these two guys.
Yep.
And it was a hit.
Yeah, two hip hop artists. Yeah. It's pretty amazing.
So think of the lawsuits.
Well, yeah, the lawyers always win.
That will come out of it.
We'll all be dead, and the lawyers will still be running around.
Ain't that the truth?
There'll be AI lawyers, probably. Yeah.
Oh God.
Yeah.
We don't need.
All right.
lawyers.
Well, good talking to you guys.
Right.
Continue with your and Jenny. If I don't see you, happy Mother's Day.
Oh, thank you so much. That was nice.
Yeah, very nice.
Talk to you later.
Thanks for the call, Mike. All right, that was our friend Mike Doyle. That does open up a line for you, 603-250-6007, 603-250-6007, and we're talking with Conrad Warre from the band Bees Deluxe. And we are in uncharted territory, and this is probably the next big transition in the music industry, right? Like first was the internet with Napster and everything becoming digital, and the effects that had on the music industry, just really just changing it foundationally. This is the next big change potentially, right?
Right, and it should be used creatively. So, for instance, Charlie Christian used to play guitar in an acoustic band, and he had the idea of sticking a gramophone needle into the body of his guitar. Mm-hmm. Like a hypo syringe.
Yeah.
And that made the music come out of the bell of his gramophone. And people were horrified. and then, the wah pedal came out, and people were horrified.
Yep. Yeah.
And then Pro Tools came out, And all these musicians are going, oh, it's sick. I prefer analog. I want to be on 2-inch tape. Or
Right.
the Beatles, Sgt. Pepper was done on an 8-track. Why are you using Pro Tools? Because you can move a beat or change its pitch this much. And AI is going to be exactly the same thing. People are going to be able to do things that we hadn't done before.
Right.
And I'd said years ago, wouldn't it be great to have, for instance, another Led Zeppelin album when they've all passed away? Well, AI will help us do that.
Interesting.
And I'm not talking about Greta Van Fleet.
I was just thinking that. I was thinking the same thing. Don't we already have that?
Well, and also you could get a movie. You could say, well, let's have Bill Murray with Marilyn Monroe in a movie.
Right.
Because it's possible now.
Right. Yeah. So you sound positive about it.
I think that technology moves forward and we have to keep up with it.
Right. Yeah.
My fear is that government people and politicians don't know how to regulate this stuff because they don't understand it.
Right.
If you remember when Mark Zuckerberg was in the Senate being at a committee meeting.
I talk about this on the show a lot.
The senators were talking to him. They go, "How do you make money?" It's like they don't understand anything about this.
Oh, Conrad, I've talked about that so many times on the show. How I get so nervous when when government tries to interfere with technology or the internet or anything, and I use that as an example.
Yeah.
I tell people, I say, if you have confidence in these people to actually regulate this stuff, I can fix you. Just go to YouTube and just look up either Mark Zuckerberg or Jack Dorsey when he went and testified before a committee, and just listen to the questions that these people ask.
Yeah.
And you begin to realize they're going to be voting on things that they have no idea what the hell even they're doing.
Yeah.
They don't know.
Same is true of Frank Zappa when he went to Washington.
Oh, for the PMRC thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They just don't get it.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, that is so true. Well, we are. Let's play something. We've been playing some of your music. We'll take a break and we'll play. I'll let you pick the song. This is the album Voice of Dog, correct? This is the current album that I have in front of me.
That's an all originals album by Bees Deluxe.
Yes.
And I thought it was hilarious that we would start the album with a song called Song Number 9.
Ah, yes.
And it drives people mad. I go, that's the point.
Did I? What did I play at the beginning of the show? I think I played that one already.
You were playing Flat Earth Conspiracy when I came in.
When you came in, yeah, at the beginning of the show, though, at the top of the show, I played something too, and I think it was that. I think it was song number 9. Let's see. What about
probably our biggest hit live is a song called Beer.
Oh, beer. All right. Let's now. Is this about? Is this about any particular person, or is it just about beer?
Both.
Okay.
and it only took 3 minutes to write.
Oh, really? Who's it about? Or can you say?
Is it a political person?
No, it's a romantic person.
Oh.
All right. Would you rather leave it at that as far as the explanation?
I think that's enough.
All right, let's give this a listen. So this is a track called Beer, and this is from the band Bees Deluxe. We have Conrad Warre in studio with us. Let's give this a spin, and then we'll continue our discussion. Here we go.
I want you, but I need a beer. I need you, but I want a beer. It's cold outside, but I need a beer. I like you, but I need a beer. I remember you, but I want a beer. It's dark outside, but I need a beer.
Oh, that's great. That is Beer from Bees Deluxe. What a cool song. You're listening to Matt Connarton Unleashed, and we are live from the studios of WMNH 95.3 FM in Manchester, New Hampshire. Jenny is here at the news desk.
I am. That was awesome.
Yeah. And on the couch, we have Conrad Warre from Bees Deluxe. And that's a great song. Now, that's you on vocals, right?
And guitar, yeah.
And guitar.
Yeah.
Very good, very good. Now, who else is in the band?
Carol Band plays keyboards, sings vocals, and plays harmonica.
Okay.
Paul Jarvinet is the drummer, and Jim Gilday is the bass player, and he sings as well.
Oh, okay.
So it's a 4-piece with 3 vocals.
Gotcha. So you take turns on the lead vocals live?
It's mostly me because I'm...
Oh, okay.
Because I'm a whack job. And we tour from Maine. We go to Rockland, Maine, and go down to Miami and Florida. We go up and down the East Coast.
Okay.
Nice.
Yeah. I was looking at your tour dates online, actually, at beesdeluxe.com is the site, right? Yeah, I like the website. Who does the website? Did you do that?
Yeah.
Did you build that? Yeah. I'm kind of a website nerd, so
Cool.
I noticed, I like the design. I like the layout. And you also brought Jenny and I a couple of, let's see, so there's, so you're still putting things out on CD, obviously. So you brought us this single Nitro, and it's got Industrial Espionage, the instrumental version. Let me put
If you put the camera on me, I've got them right up in front of my computer.
Let's do. Oh, perfect. Yeah,
There's
there you
cameras? Nobody told me
Oh,
that.
yeah, you're even on cable.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
And you're actually broadcasting also on Tomorrow Radio in the UK.
Cool.
Oh, Mike Doyle is
you're everywhere.
Mike is calling us back. Hey, Mike.
Hey, sorry. You know I hate to call more than once, but I had to say I had it on the station. I hadn't changed, and I was sitting at the light listening to that song, and let me tell you, that was awesome. The instrumentals in that song are off the charts, man. I don't want him to get too big of a head. The singing was good, but the instrumentals were off the charts.
No, right there with you.
Understood. The vocals sucked.
Oh, no.
That was excellent. That's all I wanted to say.
Thanks.
Good job. It was excellent.
Thanks, Mike.
See ya.
All right. Thanks, Mike. All right. Very good. Yeah. I was going to ask him if it made him want to have a beer, but it sounded like he was in a hurry. But great song. Yeah. So now the artwork on these is really cool. Actually, let me put the camera back on where Jenny is, so people watching online can see the artwork.
They want to see my gorgeous self.
Who does this? The artwork on these is really cool.
Well,
I think they're awesome.
We do the graphics, but we commission the art from people that we like. So, for instance, Nitro, the Green Man, he's actually called Anxious Man, is by this wonderful artist named Wendy Brusick, Brusick.
Okay.
So she found us playing in Cambridge and became a fan, and we looked up her artwork, and we begged her to do that. So she's done the artwork for our next album, which is still being mixed.
Okay.
And the other one, called Wherever You Hide, is an EP, and that's a photograph by my daughter, Zoe.
Nice.
Oh, wow.
Zoe took that photograph in a sculpture park somewhere.
That is very cool.
I like it.
Isn't that nice?
Yeah, that is. Yeah. And we'll, for people listening who obviously can't see, we'll take pictures of these and put them up on social media so you can see exactly what we'll do that after the show so you can see what we're talking about. But yeah, that's very cool. Very cool. Now, are you putting out, are you doing anything on vinyl? I notice vinyl has, it never went away, but now I think, if I'm not mistaken, 2022 might have been the first year where vinyl actually outsold CDs.
I read that too. I'm not sure I believe it.
Really? Yeah.
Well, one reason I don't believe it is because there's a vinyl shortage of the raw materials.
I didn't know that.
So obviously there's a lobbyist or there's a PR engine going behind it, probably to build it up again.
Yeah.
So the cost per entry for vinyl is hard because you got to make a master that you cut. So whereas the CD you can make 50.
Right. Right.
And a cassette, you can make 10.
Yeah.
And an 8-track, you can't make.
Yeah, cassettes. I was shocked when, it must have been 7 or 8 years ago now, maybe not that long. I was on bandcamp.com and I realized that people were starting to put out cassettes again. I couldn't believe it. I mean, obviously just kind of as a novelty, I guess.
Right.
But I don't know. Maybe some people like the sound of tape hiss. I don't know.
Or they've got cassette players in their cars.
Yeah.
Or you're sitting there with a pencil on the tape, just swinging it around, trying to get it to wind back up again. I don't miss tapes.
No.
But I think I want a CD player now.
Yeah.
Like, I really think I want to have a CD player again.
Yeah, I know I have one. We actually have one here. I think Rob Azevedo is the only one who uses it for his show. But, and I have a MacBook that has a CD player on it. But yeah, I was amazed to see that cassettes had sort of come back. And I actually, I used to work for a retail chain. I worked for Strawberries. And then, of course, it got bought by Transworld and became FYE. But I remember cassettes, one of the things that's interesting, and you might agree with me, it's interesting to see over time what technologies go away and what technologies stick around, and to try to predict it. And sometimes people aren't always right. And cassettes are an example of where I thought those were going to go away at least 5 years sooner than they did. And we still had them when I was working at that job. We had them much longer than I thought we would have. But my theory at the time was that it was because of the auto industry, because people still had cassette players in their cars, right, even though CDs had been the dominant medium for so long. And then eventually cassettes went away, but cassettes stayed around a lot longer than I would have imagined. But
well, it's immensely portable. But the two that you missed that went away, like the dinosaurs, were the mini disc, Sony, right?
Yep.
Which had a bubble memory, so you could jog and it wouldn't skip.
Oh, okay.
And you could record on it, so you could record, speeches at college and go to sleep in them.
Yeah.
And then Philips came out with another one called Digital Compact Cassette, which was essentially a cassette-sized DAT.
Oh.
And that went down the toilet really fast because they tried to gouge back more of the royalties from the artists. This was Philips.
Really?
In Germany.
Okay.
So, and the artist said, no, you can't have it. If you're going to take that much away from me, we're not going to put our albums out on digital compact cassette. But the idea was to have a cassette that had CD quality sound on it.
Okay. Did that ever make it to the United States?
I had to make those damn things at Rykodisc.
No kidding.
Yeah.
See, because I don't even remember those. I remember the mini discs. I don't remember those.
Digital compact cassette. That burnt in flames really fast.
Yeah, yeah. Huh, interesting. I mean, I remember the old DAT recorders.
Yeah.
Those were great because I remember you could bring those to a concert and record, and the quality would be amazing.
Right, but indexing on that stuff, or it was for engineers, not people.
Yeah, yeah. But yeah, and the other technology too that went away quickly, from what I can recall, is because we actually had these when I first started at Strawberries. We had these, but it was at the tail end, was laser discs.
Oh yeah.
So you got this movie basically on,
and they were 12 inches.
Yeah,
right.
Yeah, they were huge.
Sure.
And it was it was cumbersome. And then, of course, as soon as DVDs rather started coming out, laser discs went away pretty quickly. Right. But I remember people would come in wanting to order them, and it would take forever to get them, and.
Do you have little libraries on the street here in Manchester?
I don't know if any of them. There may be one in Manchester, but they do have them around.
So they're all over in Jamaica Plain, and when I open them up, they're full of DVDs.
Oh yeah, you're talking about the
They're little boxes on the street
people
where
set them up on the street, and you put books in.
You put a book in, take a book out.
Yeah.
And in my neighborhood, people are getting rid of their DVDs because of the streaming industry, because of Netflix and Apple and everything like that.
Yeah. That's another thing that's been in the news lately too, because of the writer's strike, and these writers. Streaming has really changed technology. It just changes everything. Streaming has really changed the way a lot of them get paid and so forth.
Yeah, get ready to be flooded with reality shows.
Yeah, no kidding, huh? That's what happens.
Take your clothes off, run out in the street.
That's what happens.
Get a series.
Yep. So now Bees Deluxe, how long is because I assume the lineup has changed over the years, right? Because
occasionally we lose and find a player.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How long has the band existed? I mean, it's been decades, right? I assume.
I think we put out something about 8 years ago, the Demolition tapes.
Okay. So, but is the current lineup, has it been together for a while? Is it pretty stable? Or?
Yeah, this one 3 or 4 years, and we've done thousands of miles together.
Yeah.
So we take turns driving.
Okay.
And the mythology of this is that when I'm driving, it rains.
Yeah.
When anybody else drives, it's fine.
Right. You all pile into a van? Or?
Yeah. We borrow a VW bus or a Ford Transit or rent a Ford Transit.
Yeah.
But COVID almost killed us on that.
Yeah.
Because if you remember, before COVID, you could rent a van for, I don't know, $150, $200 a day.
Sure.
Do unlimited miles. So we'd be cool.
Yeah.
And then when COVID hit, people like Enterprise said, okay, let's sell our inventory.
Yep.
And we'll buy it back when it's finished. Of course, when it finished, they couldn't buy the inventory back.
Yep.
So now they're charging us $400 a day for a Ford Transit.
Oh, wow.
So we're going to have to do this on roller skates.
Yeah. Yeah, that's one of the things that I hear the most now from anybody who does any level of touring. It's so well. Actually, in fact, there's been national artists who have said, no, we're not gonna tour anymore. It's gotten
Steve Vai says he won't play in Europe anymore.
Really?
Yeah.
It costs him too much money.
Yeah,
Wow.
yeah. The travel is
The travel, the trucking, the hotels, all the overhead is now higher than the ticket.
Yeah.
And it always used to be that the ticket price didn't get you your money back.
Mm-hmm.
Like when the Stones or the Talking Heads played in New York, they would break even or lose on ticket sales because Ron Delsner would take it from them. But they would come back into the black on T-shirt sales.
Merch, yeah.
And I think like the Rolling Stones played, they would make $25 to $50 a head on merchandise.
Okay.
Because people would go in and they'd buy the $200 leather jacket.
Right. Yeah.
And that's where they made their money back. So,
yeah.
Which is kind of unusual because you think rock and roll is in the T-shirt business.
Oh, very much so, yeah.
But they pretty much are, and that's how indie bands survive now.
Yeah.
If you look at something like Bad Bad Hat, when they go up and down the country, they're selling T-shirts to pay for gas and pizza.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no doubt. Well, my all-time favorite band is Kiss, and of course, Kiss happens to be the most heavily merchandised band in history. You know, I'm not even sure. I think the Beatles might be number 2, but Kiss is the most heavily merchandised, and it's like they actually sold off their publishing back before a lot of artists were doing it back in the I think it must have been around 1990, 1991 because
they cashed out
on the publishing, yeah.
Right.
But they make touring, they sell so much merch. It's like that's where the money really is for them.
So I have the worst example for you.
Yeah.
I used to be friends with a band called the Soft Boys.
Okay.
Which was Robin Hitchcock and a great guitar player named Kimberly Rue. And the band split up. Robin wanted to go solo, and Kimberly started a band doing Bo Diddley songs.
Huh.
They were in Greece. They got a deal. They cut a song called Walking on Sunshine. Katrina and the Waves.
Yeah.
That's Bo Diddley, and Kimberly Rue is playing.
Oh, no kidding.
So he's in England. I'm still slightly in touch with him. I walk into a store, and I find a toothbrush that when you press it, plays Walking on Sunshine. I'm going, if that isn't the lowest version of merchandising a rock and roll band in the universe, I don't know what.
Yeah. Yeah, that song, though, kind of transcends.
It's a great song.
To be honest with you, I never liked it. I remember, but I think part of it was, when I was a kid, I couldn't turn on MTV without seeing the video.
Right.
I was like, enough.
Yeah, overexposure will kill you on anything.
Yeah. Because that was their only hit, right? Katrina and the Waves, I think, right? I don't remember another.
That's it.
I don't remember another song. Yeah.
But he was great in the Soft Boys. He played like Hendrix.
Yeah. Oh, wow.
Listen to the really early stuff. So like, I Want to Destroy You.
Now, with when you were at Rykodisc, was there any merchandising going on there, or because they were?
No, but what we did, and I think most labels do this, is we would package in a way that the super collectors would want.
Okay.
So we had a release called Yictadosa, which is by Zappa, and it stands for You Can't Do That on Stage Anymore.
Okay.
So they'd be like 5 double albums in a box, hand-painted.
Yeah.
So if you bought all 5, you got the box. So that's kind of merchandising, but it's really upselling.
Yeah,
to persuade people, don't just buy volumes 1 through 2.
Oh.
Buy volumes 1 through 5, and you get this extra thing.
That makes sense.
You know, my favorite actually was Nut Ogden's Flake by the Small Faces, which came in a circular tin, like a tobacco tin.
Yeah.
Way before Public Image. Because Public Image did a metal tin box as well.
Okay.
So it was really about that kind of packaging. One spoof that I came up with was we did an album with NRBQ called Honest Dollar.
Yeah.
I got $1,000 from the bank, and I sent it to the band, and I said, I want you to sign every single dollar bill, and then send them back to me, and I'm going to put them into CDs.
Oh, wow.
And then shuffle them and distribute them.
Yeah.
So if you're an NRBQ fan and you bought one of those, you might open it up and find a dollar bill in there signed by the band.
Oh, wow. Oh, that's pretty cool. Yeah. Oh, wow. Is that kind of the most unique idea that you would? Because who would think of that? I mean, that's. I assume that was your idea, right? You're the one who came up with that. Is that the most unique idea that you had come up with?
I had another one that it didn't quite take off in the way I hoped, but I introduced Bob Mould to my boss.
Mm-hmm.
And Bob really hated Virgin Records because they had nothing but session players working for him.
Oh.
And the session players, you've probably met session players, but they're very serious and they're in there to make $1 and get out again.
Yeah.
So he's a good songwriter and a great guitar player, and he just didn't like that. He wanted to be in charge.
Yeah.
So he agreed to sign with Rykodisc as an original artist, and he formed a band called Sugar.
Okay.
And the first album he did was Copper Blue, which is a take on Police.
Yeah.
So I got with Philips DuPont Optical, and we made a copper CD case.
Oh, okay.
And printed the name of the band on the copper on the outside.
Oh, wow.
So, and that's like a super limited edition.
Yeah. Oh, wow. That's pretty cool. Wow. Do you are you involved in the industry side of things now, or are you just focused on the music?
I just play the guitar.
Yeah. Do you miss it?
No.
No.
As I said, the more you get embedded in the record industry, the more you feel like you need a shower.
Really? Yeah.
And I suppose it's like that in the film industry and the advertising agency and publishing.
Yeah. Interesting. So, I mean, was there a specific thing that I'm so curious. I mean, was there something specific that made you feel that way, or was it just kind of over time?
I got 2 albums. I had cast my net, and people knew who I was, and they would send me demos.
Yeah.
I got a tape from Robbie Krieger, and my boss wouldn't put it out.
Really?
Yeah. It was an instrumental album by Robbie Krieger of The Doors, if you don't recognize him.
Oh, yeah.
But it was a great album, and they wouldn't do it. They said, we can't sell that. I go, we can sell that. They went, no. And then I got another tape from a guy whose name I can't quite remember yet, but he was a student of Bill Frisell's in San Francisco, and he was playing world music really early, before world music really existed.
Yeah.
And I took it to my boss, who's a very nice guy named Don Rose, and he had a desk the size of yours, this deep in CDs and DAT tapes and cassettes. So because I worked there, I could get it to the front of the pile.
Yeah.
And he listened to it, and he came down the next day, and he said, Conrad, this is awesome. This is the best I've ever heard of this genre. And I said, great, let's put it out. And he said, no, nobody's heard of him.
Huh.
So my heart kind of broke, because I go, okay, so here's a record industry executive who has the power to introduce a new act, to put out original music, and chooses not to.
Yeah.
And I'm guessing it's like that everywhere.
Oh, I'm sure. Yeah, I'm sure. And there's, and there's so many horror stories too about, like bands they sign with, or solo artists or whomever, they sign with a label, and and they sign however many album deal or then they record something, and hell, maybe it's even happened to you. I don't know. And they record an album, and then the label decides not to put it out, and they shelve it for whatever reason.
Yep.
And then the band is like, and they don't even own the master recordings of what they just did.
Yeah.
And this label says, no, we're going to shelve this for which could be for any number of reasons.
Yeah,
and,
I've got tracks in warehouses in London at EMI and places.
No kidding.
The one that comes to mind though is there's a really good guitar player in New York called Binky Phillips. He was in a band called The Planets. They headlined CBs.
Okay.
They were huge. And he cut an album. They were one of the first biracial bands, too. They had a black guy in the band and 3 white guys in early rock days in the 80s.
Yeah.
And the album was phenomenal. And it went to the label. And Ted Templeton said, we've got Van Halen. We don't need the planets. And it was just like, if he just got the tapes there 6 months earlier.
Yeah.
And that just blew him up.
And why wouldn't you? And yeah, you've got Van Halen, but so what? Why don't you want another? You know what I mean? Why don't you want another?
Well, because record companies can't market the same thing twice in 1 month. In the book publishing industry, it's called review driven. A book company like Doubleday will have 20 books out a month.
Yeah.
They'll promote one of them.
Okay.
So why do they put the other 19 out? They go, just in case.
Yeah.
And they say those books are going to be what's called review driven.
Okay.
But they're not going to push it.
Okay.
So it's up to the author to go out and find a publicist and get on Good Morning America. But in the record business, it's really specific. It's like we can do one girl singer, one boy band, one heavy rock band, one reggae band. That's it for the next 2 months.
Okay.
I remember watching an interview with Tori Amos talking about that. The difficulties. Well, we already have a female.
Right.
We've already got a piano player. You know, and they wouldn't put her on.
It's insane. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, that's wild.
Yeah,
and from the artist's perspective, it's bad luck or good luck depending on your timing.
Yeah.
Right? Seriously.
I mean, when you remember, if you listen to Norah Jones now, you go, it's good. But her album came out when there was nothing like it.
Right. True. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
So the critics went, this is wonderful.
Right.
It was like a dose of fresh air.
Yeah. Yeah, that's interesting. Yeah, and I remember that too because I was working for Strawberries when Norah Jones hit big. And yeah, you're right. I remember that. And of course, now we live in a time where you can put things out yourself on the release it yourself online, and
right.
It's a completely different world now. I mean, record labels still exist, obviously, but it's funny too. There's still people who think that if I get signed to a record label, all my problems will be solved and I'll be instantly famous.
Them.
And
yeah, I remember meeting a band that had been signed in Utah, and they came up to New York. They got a cheap apartment in Staten Island for $10 a night, and they're all working as waiters and bar backs.
Yeah.
I go, you signed to a major label? He says, yeah, we got no money.
Right. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it is. It can be a dirty business, that's for sure. Yeah, so I can see why you got disillusioned with it. Listen, this has been wonderful, Conrad. We learned a lot, and we went in some directions I wasn't expecting, which is always a nice surprise. I love talking about the music, but other aspects of the music industry too is great. But we do want to make sure people know where to find you online, your band, Bees Deluxe, and if you have any shows coming up in the area that you want to, we have listeners online from all over, but any specific shows you want us to know about, anything at all, social media, whatever.
You can find us on Facebook as Bees Deluxe, and you can find our website, beesdeluxe.com. And our next show is a no-cover show matinee at the Porch Southern, what's it called? Porch Southern Fair and Juke Joint in Medford.
Okay.
And it's a matinee.
Okay.
And we released a video of Jamie Lee Curtis begging us to put out a matinee show.
Really?
Yeah.
Nice.
Oh, no kidding.
Yeah.
Wow.
And we're on
AI?
Instagram and Twitter and Mastodon and all those things. So she was at like the Grammys or something like that, and she was begging Bruce Springsteen to stay a matinee because she goes to bed at 7 p.m.
Yeah.
So we cribbed the video and put our name in there.
Oh, that's awesome.
That's brilliant. I love it. All right, very good. And the website, of course, is beesdeluxe.com. And Conrad, this has been wonderful. Thank you again so much, my friend, for coming in. This has been great.
Thank you, Jen and Matt. Thanks for having me.
Absolutely. And we will end the show with one more of your songs, but I will let you pick. We played Beer. We opened the program today with song number 9, and then of course we played Flat Earth Conspiracy earlier.
I think I'll let you dodge the longest track because you'll get mad at me if you play, but play a shorter track called Blues for Cameroon.
Blues for Cameroon.
My favorite football team.
Okay. There it is. Yep. Oh, by the way, Flat Earth Conspiracy. Why is it called that?
Did you listen to the lyrics?
Yeah, but I was distracted doing other stuff while it was playing. Is that literally what it's about?
It's written in response to all of the nut jobs on the internet.
Nice. I will revisit that song later in the week and play it again.
Even more now.
Yeah, no kidding. Very cool. All right, but we will end with Blues for Cameroon. Jenny, did you want to plug anything, your website or anything? Before we go?
You can check me out at jenncoffey.com, JENNCOFFEY.com. Look for my writings on the Mighty, and stay tuned for more information on my battle with the health insurance companies.
Yes. All right, very good. All right, so we're going to end with this, Conrad. Thank you again. And this is Blues for Cameroon from the band Bees Deluxe.